Andrew Schultz, he's on the Life Tour, and it's bringing him to Cleveland to play Playhouse Square. Friday, September 20th, 1 week from this Friday at the State Theater. Tickets, info, everything else, always at playhousesquare.org. So 2 for Andrew Schultz. Dig his work. Go see him live while you can. Good luck. Caller 10. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Alan Cox.
A drummer, or even a real musician, he just makes a noise. If he played the violin or the piano, anything that made sense, but the drums.
100.7 WMMS.
Oh, we got some hot celebrity goss from Perez Bilton in about an hour. Mary, your thoughts?
Can't wait.
We're getting her on a good day, too, Bill. We're getting her on a recovery day. And we're getting her on a day where not only is she having, I'm not going to say physical difficulties, she's not feeling at the top of her game. She's also she's also kind of in the midst of a bit of an existential crisis, too. You know, not to put too fine a point on it, but
what?
An existential crisis.
Why am I in an existential crisis?
About what you were talking about before, about how frustrating everything can be in that professional space. That's part of it.
What?
Do you remember what you told us about half an hour ago about the difficulties and the anxiety surrounding?
Yeah.
Yes. Mary, in comedy, that's called a callback. And have you got a pen? You want to write this down?
I don't have the mental capacity to remember what I said 30 minutes ago. Okay.
Along with you.
I just re-upped on my Dayquil, and I don't know if this is like this for you guys, but I'm telling you, I feel it almost to the minute when it wears off after 4 hours.
Oh, I
really?
agree. Yeah.
It's like I start
when I'm not
to feel
feeling
crappy
good
again, and then I'm like, oh, it's been almost exactly 4 hours.
I thought that was
since I took my
supposedly
last
like a
dose.
12-hour thing.
No.
Not Dayquil, no.
Oh, Dayquil. I'm sorry.
Dayquil's every 4 hours. You're supposed to take it.
But even the stuff that's supposed to make you feel good for half a day, it's never 12 hours, right? Like when you guzzle NyQuil or whatever, they're like, it's not the commercials. You're not laying there, having a great time. You're like, maybe feeling a little better until you get up.
In the break, I started to feel like I was getting a fever again. I'm like, dude, I'm like a little shaky. My face is hot. I'm like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh, yep, I took my Dayquil at about 10:45 this morning. So that's my time's up.
Oh,
Time
that's
to
what
take
it is.
again. Yeah, so.
That's what they mean by time release.
But then when you take it again, you're like, all right.
Not so bad.
Not so bad. I almost wrecked my morning because I was staying at my girlfriend's house, and I take Z-Quil most nights to fall asleep. And I was just like going through
That's
my
like
routine.
knockout juice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like and it works really well for me. And, my night routine is brush my teeth. Well, I take the Z-Quil, and then I brush my teeth. And then I was getting up this morning, and I was like, all right, I'm going to brush my teeth. But before I brush my teeth, I always take my Z-Quil, and I had it and I was like about to drink. I'm like, no, Bill, stupid. Don't do that.
The sun's up.
Yeah.
Don't do this now.
You just got out of bed.
Wow.
I would have been robo-tripping all morning.
Yeah.
Makes you forgetful.
No.
As soon as you get up.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Well, it was just regular stupid that made me do it, not the Z-Quil, because that was from the night before.
Now, had you taken the Z-Quil this morning, where would that have put you about now? Would you be groggy? Would it have...
I probably would be okay by now.
Yeah.
But it would have been an interesting
Your
drive
morning
to
would have
get
been...
my hair cut.
Dayquil is every 6 hours, somebody says. Well, I'm going to defer to you guys because it sounds like you know. If it's every 4. If her brain flips a switch at 4 hours.
4 to
then,
6 hours.
All right.
However often you need it.
Yeah.
Take 100.
Whatever, it wore off and she needed more.
Yeah. Yep. Today, Guardians will play tonight. They are.
Who are they playing?
The White Sox.
Are they any good?
The Guardians? Yeah, they're great.
What
yeah.
about the White Sox? Are they any
The
good?
White Sox? No, they are the opposite of any good. No, they are literally not any good. They are 33-112 or something right now. No, the Chicago White Sox are not good. They are, 33-112. Anyway, it will not surprise you to find out that the Guardians beat them last night in Chicago, 5-3, the final. They will get 2 more chances to wipe the floor with the Southsiders. Tonight, 7:40 is your next start time. 7:10 is that pregame coverage on MMS. You can hear it. You can hear it on the iHeartRadio app if you want to do it there too. And then the Guardians will come home and do a 4-game stretch against the Tampa Bay Rays. They only have a couple of homestands left. September 29th is the very last regular season game when the Houston Astros, those cheaters, will be in town. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. And it's a downer to think about, sure, but you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody whose life had not been impacted either directly or indirectly by suicide. And so to make these things top of mind just, I think, is a good thing to do. Somebody sent me the information. It would have gone right past me otherwise. I didn't run into anything that told me about World Suicide Prevention Day. So whoever sent me that, thank you. And, of course, you know, if you see posts about it, it will normally be celebrity-related because obviously you're not going to pay, individual people will post about somebody that they know. But you'll see your Kurt Cobains and your Chris Cornells, and, of course, everybody's talking about Chester Bennington because of this debacle that's going on with the relaunch of Lincoln Park. And that's having the opposite effect from, I'm sure, what they wanted, which is it's making people miss Chester Bennington more.
Right.
And Robin Williams, of course. I think it was just like the anniversary of his death, was it? His birthday or something.
Yeah.
His daughter posted something. So, yeah, Robin Williams, Anthony Bourdain is another one that comes to mind for people. Elliott Smith.
Are people buying
Ian
the Lincoln Park
Curtis.
tickets?
I don't know. I've seen some posts of friends who were just beside themselves, excited to get tickets for that L.A. show. So there are people trying to buy those tickets. I have to imagine a show of that magnitude, it's even more frustrating trying to buy tickets from after the bots scoop them all
Yeah,
up.
I imagine they
and then
got
try to sell them
scooped up
back
by
to you
the
at
bots, but
$1,200 a piece.
I feel like the longer this goes on, I mean, I know the first show I think is tomorrow, and in LA, but I don't think there's a lot of people that are that excited for it.
Well, I think LA is a weird barometer because that show is going to be a lot of industry people, guaranteed. So I think when you talk about like one of the shows overseas or when they play, where else they play, in San Francisco or something?
I think in the U.S., I think they're just doing the L.A. show, and they're doing
L.A. and New York?
New York for this like quick little launch that they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing the Kia Forum tomorrow night, and then Monday they're doing the Barclays Center there in New York. And then they go to Hamburg, Germany.
I mean, it says they're sold out, but I think I think it's a lot of bots because there's a lot of resale tickets available.
I wonder how they landed on these venues if it was just as simple as them running the data and finding their hot zips and going, all right, these are the places we're going to find our supercells of hardcore fans because they're doing Bogota, Colombia, South Korea. They're doing the O2 in London, which is a massive venue. So those are the first half dozen shows that they have booked. And I imagine after those are done, they'll go, all right, what do we think we're going to do from here? But I hope it doesn't end up, listen, they're artists and they want to be out there and doing their thing and they want to remind people of how much people love those songs. But it would suck if after 6 shows you go, do I want to do 20 more? Do I want to take this around the world? Because it's not like this is a tour in any iteration. It's not like this is a band that was going to go on a 10-month tour, right?
I think they will.
You think so? You think they'll spend a year touring?
Yeah, I think they'll do a big tour after this. I think they're going to, depending on how the album's received, I think they'll do like a full world tour. I think this is like the relaunch tour that they're doing right now.
I guess they have to.
Whistle.
But I guess they have to with all this buildup. But by the same token, you're kind of like, death by 1,000 cuts. I don't know. It's probably all being blown too, because we're seeing the loudest people who are against what's going on. Yeah, Chester's son and former Scientologists. Let Bill know that Benadryl is way cheaper. He probably knows that, as opposed to ZzzQuil. Maybe he has some brand loyalty.
But Benadryl's not what I wanted.
Maybe he has brand loyalty, sir or madam. Well,
You don't
Benadryl, as I understand it, that's allergy medication, and ZzzQuil is to knock you out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
One is for sleep, one is for allergies.
There you go. One
Well,
is.
like,
I mean, you
when
have
I
the
say
same
my
desired
girlfriends, I
effect.
do need allergy pills because she's got cats and I'm allergic. But Benadryl is too drowsy, and like I wake up in the morning and I feel like bleh. Whereas ZzzQuil, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go.
Well, that's certainly how they sell it to you. It's like, most people I know, they'll take like a little Eddie or something before they go to sleep. And I can't get myself into that because I'm like, I just know I'm going to wake up groggy, and I don't want that. I can't have that. I can't be stumbling around for the first hour of my day. But some people swear by it.
I've never been able to do the weed make me sleep thing. That never has, because I know you have to take it a few hours before you go to bed, but it just doesn't work for me either. My thoughts get too racy.
You mean they race or racy thoughts?
No, they're both.
You're like, yeah!
I got racy thoughts.
Puff, puff, pass, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you've got racy thoughts, and maybe you find, there are various kinds of highs, right? There's an excited high. There's a mellow high. There's a paranoid high. There's a horny high. That became fun right there.
That's a good high.
The FDA has approved their first, this is exciting, write this down. The FDA has approved their first at-home syphilis test.
Oh, yay.
Listen, you want to know if you got
throw
the
the swab
syph.
away.
Are you drippy and burning?
Oh, boy. If you're drippy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh, she did it, Bill.
I'm not drippy about it.
Just like somebody who was drippy would say. Anyway, at-home syphilis test. They've seen a rise in a lot of sexually transmitted infections. When did disease become infection, by the way, in the arena of... When did STD become STI?
I think because a lot of them are... Not that diseases aren't... Are diseases curable?
Yes, many diseases are curable. That's why I wonder...
It had something to do with that.
Okay.
Curability.
All right, sir.
Is that a word?
You made it one.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know if it is. So I'll err on the side of yes.
And I don't care if it is.
A company called Now Diagnostics will be marketing the first-to-know syphilis test, which will detect antibodies in the blood. So no longer will you have to make one of those appointments to go in there and admit to some terrible, terrible decisions. You can now. They say here's the rub, if you will. The home tests alone are not enough for a diagnosis. So I'm kind of wondering.
What the hell? Who cares then?
Right. This is like when you poop in a box and you send it off, and they might tell you now you got to go see a doctor. So
Or like when they're like COVID tests are 40% accurate.
Right.
Remember those early days?
Yeah.
Like, well, what is this?
So what's the point of this then? The home syphilis test. You could be if you got to deal with false positives, false negatives. You get your results in about 15 minutes. So this is also great for the person on the go who's like, well, sure, I want to know if I have syphilis, but I don't have an hour. I gotta get out there and do what I've been doing. There are other syphilis tests currently on the market, but you have to send your sample to a lab. This one, you just stick it where you got to stick it. And I wonder if you get the 1 or 2 lines, like the pregnancy test. Is that the industry standard for at-home tests, the 1 or 2 lines?
Yeah.
These are going to be available at major retailers and online late this year. They'll be about $30. Small price to pay to maybe find out if you have syphilis, because then you can't really rely on the results. $30 for results that maybe, because, throughout history, before you could take care of these things, a lot of people died from syphilis. A lot of people.
Made people go crazy.
Yeah, if it was
Rotted
untreated.
your brain.
Yes. Untreated?
What's that
You're-
Johnny Depp movie where he pees himself and his nose falls off?
Oh, the Libertine.
Libertine. He had syphilis in that.
Libertines.
Yeah, no. Listen, the stages of syphilis. Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, even in the modern day, like Al Capone died from syphilis.
I thought he died from tax evasion.
No, he was incarcerated for tax evasion.
I had him.
Or was he incarcerated for syphilis and
I
died
thought-
from tax evasion?
Yes,
I think
thought
you're right.
He got arrested from syphilis.
That he got arrested because of the syphilis.
Yeah.
He died from the tax evasion.
That's what I.
Yep.
I read that.
That's right. It wasn't an STD. It was a 1040. That's what killed him. But all these famous painters, you know, your Gauguins, your Manet, your Monet, Manet, Tippy Tippy Day Day, they were all syphilitic. Oscar Wilde, Al Capone. So yeah, you take this test, $30, right? And first of all, anybody who buys one of these tests, you already kind of know that something's going on. Nobody wakes up and goes, man, I feel great. I wonder if I have syphilis. You know, people are going to get like, they're going to get the chancre, right? They're going to wake up and they're going to go, ooh, this is no good. This is no good. And then when it goes untreated, then you start losing the hair. And you go, well, now I'm really not going to be able to get laid because I have syphilis and I'm bald. And then if you really don't take care of it, you can have it for a long time before anything happens.
Is syphilis the one that puts like spots on your hands? That you get like red bumps all over.
I don't
your
know about that.
palms?
I don't know. Hairy palms? Is that what you're referring to? That's an old wives' tale,
Yeah, you get
Mary.
that from
Yeah.
masturbation.
No.
Sores on the palms?
That you not necessarily like red. I thought it was like not pimples, but that one of the STDs gave you like it affected your palms.
Okay, I don't
Maybe I'm
know.
making that up. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. No, but like the thing with syphilis, you know, way back in the day, people wouldn't have it treated, and they would go
Yes,
long
as-
periods of time. Syphilis, you
As
get
syphilis becomes worse, the symptoms include rash marked by rough discolored spots, including the palms and soles.
wow,
Oh.
rough discolored spots. Boy, you
Yeah.
don't want that.
Non-itchy skin rash on your hands and feet.
Yeah,
I don't want
and
no
then you get like
syphilis.
you end up with brain damage.
Yeah.
Eats you up. That's why Al Capone was lucky, because it was a tax evasion that killed him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they put him in prison for the syphilis, you know, they gave him a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But that tax evasion,
Penicillin.
he's buried under all that paperwork.
Well,
Nobody could hear him screaming.
You said death by 1,000 cuts. You didn't mention they were paper cuts.
Paper cuts, everybody. That's right.
Paper cut. I hope they play it. Lincoln Park.
Oh, they're
Back
really
to
good.
it. Yeah.
The band's good. The song is good. So, yeah, for people who have been clamoring for the home syphilis test, you're going to have it by the end of this year. It's really a brave new world in every direction for home testing, right? It's got to drive medical professionals crazy, though, because they go, when they read a story like this, they go, oh, Jesus. Because the people still have to come to them. This is just an over-the-counter version of people who go on WebMD and then go to the doctor and go, oh, I think I have this. I might have this, or I might have this, or I might have this, because I was on WebMD. I mean, doctors know at this point. They go, were you on the internet a lot looking for? Yeah, I was. Okay, well, why didn't you just come to me first?
Scary.
I mean, again, a large proportion of medicine is guesswork, but still more educated guesswork. So the at-home syphilis test might see an influx of people in doctors' offices.
Now, what does the
What are you in
packaging look
for?
like? Does it come in? Does it say on the box? It's
very
discreet.
Yeah.
Discreet STI test.
There you go. In a big stencil.
It's just a pink flower.
Yeah. So you're sitting in there in the waiting room and you know, what are you in for? And the guy goes, tax evasion. Okay, I get it. I know what you're here for.
Wink, wink.
Wink. Say no more. Say no more. We won't speak of this again. But first to know is they really should have come up with a better name. I like punny names when it comes up with at-home remedies. And first to know That ain't
you want
doing
it to be syphil, yes?
Syphil, yes. Syphil, no. No, I don't know. That's for the marketing guys to
Simply
figure out.
syphil.
Simply syphilis. Okay, I got a break.
Syphiloply.
Go ahead. What is it?
Syphiloply.
We can work it out in real time.
Yeah,
Simplify,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Simply syphilis. Like it's a dessert topping.
Orange juice. No pulp.